5,190 workers died in 2016 alone. Why is this number important to you? Because if you're like 99% of all Americans, then you have a job, you go to work, and you have a 9 to 5, a swing shift, night shift, and it could be in multiple trades. Construction, you can be a pilot, you can work as a waitress, you can work in an office. And why is on the job safety important to you? Because injuries are not only for construction workers or dangerous jobs alone, they pertain to everybody. So it's important to think safe and at the end of the day, go home to your loved ones. So my name's Curtis. I'm a carpenter for Crossing Construction out of Columbus, Kansas. And today I just want to talk to you a little bit about safety, some of the companies that implement safety and regulate safety, and some of the costs, direct and indirectly, from on-the-job injuries. Okay, the first thing I want to touch on is a couple of statistics from OSHA. And what OSHA is the Occupational Safety Hazard Association. And what they do is they monitor companies and job sites to keep you safe. So basically what they do is they come out to your job and they make sure that your company and your job site is up to their standards. And a lot of companies think this is a negative thing, but the whole point of this association is to keep you safe and to keep companies keeping you safe. So when I told you 5,190 workers died last year, that was in 2016, that only makes up 17% of all injuries on the job. So that's just a very, very small portion of that number. 21.1% of those were in construction. So mainly I'm going to focus on construction today, but that's just a very, very small portion, 1/5 of the injuries that result on the job. And in construction, there's what we call the fatal four, and they're the four most injuries that occur. And the very first one would be falls. And so whenever you're working 6 feet or above, you need to have 100% fall protection. And what that means is you need to have a safety harness on and tied off to a lanyard, something stable, something that can hold 2,000 pounds. So always remember, if you're 6 feet above, you need to have 100% fall protection. The next one would be struck by an object, and that's heavy machinery, cranes, anything moving, could be vehicles, could be whatever. The third thing is electrocutions, and that mostly deals with power, electricians, things like that, but it's always important to remember that. And the fourth one is caught in between, or what we like to refer to as a pinch point. So that's anywhere like when an object is moving, you get in between that and whatever it's about to bump into. And believe it or not, that happens a lot. You probably get it every time you smash your hand in a door. It's a pinch point. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of safety, and that's just to make sure you go home every single day to your loved ones. So people in between the ages of 20 and 65 spent 50% of their time out on the job. So when you're thinking safety and you practice safe tips, you're more likely to come home at the end of the day. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is direct and indirect costs, and these facts come from PBS. So basically what they say is direct costs comprise 29% of all injuries and fatalities, and indirect costs are 71% of total injuries. Now, direct costs are medical costs, medical insurance costs, and insurance administration costs. Indirect cost category, which compromises almost all of it, is what you don't think about. And basically that is lost earnings from your employer and yourself, okay, fringe benefits, home production, and workplace training. So basically what that's saying is if you get hurt on the job, now your employer has to pay higher insurance rates, okay? You yourself have to pay higher medical insurance rates, And so what's that? That's passed on to you, which means lower earnings, higher insurance rates, things like that. So it's always important to be thinking safely and practicing safe work tips. So what I want to show you today is a couple of safety things that our company, Crossland Construction, requires you to wear. One would be your hard hat. Probably the most number one thing on the job, and basically it protects you from anything falling on your head, which if you're like me, your brain is your very most important thing, and you don't want to damage it. So very important thing to wear. Probably the most underestimated piece of safety equipment is your safety glasses, okay? And this protects you from all kinds of stuff. Things going in your eyes, could be material, could be things from a grinder or a saw, but it also can protect you a little bit from chemicals and things like that. And there's different forms of safety glasses. These are clear, but they come in, sunglasses, tinted, goggles if you're working around chemicals, things like that. And this is all something that Crossland requires you to wear. Another thing is your gloves right here, and that protects you from cuts and splinters and different things like that. And to a certain extent, chemicals maybe, but they have rubber gloves for things like that. Now, in conclusion, I always want you guys to remember that safety starts with you and ends with you. So, a company's rules and OSHA standards are only as good as the employer, using those. So, I just want to tell you a little bit about Crossland and the safety incentives that they give you. So, they give you 4 safety days a year. And basically what that's saying is when they come on the job, if you're wearing your gloves, safety glasses, and hard hat, you will get a safety day, which is a full paid 8-hour day. So that's basically Crossland's way of saying, hey, thank you for being safe. And with you being safe and you not getting injuries, gives them the chance to pay lower insurance rates, lower medical insurance coverage, and then therefore our company passes that savings on to you by giving you safety days, higher hourly wage, and lower medical insurance. So with Crossland, and I can't speak for any other company, your personal safety is above their bottom dollar. So anyways, thank you guys for listening to this persuasive speech, and I hope that in the future you guys are thinking safe. Bye.